Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. So I know you're confused, so am I. All at once, they all came out at the end of 2018, these amazing Android 7.1.1 watches with a special 6739 chip in them, not the 6737. In fact, some that had that old chip got updated to this new chip because they've added this ambient screen mode on all of these watches, and that's what this is a look at. Which one should you pick if you want a watch that on your arm is going to give you always time? And that's actually what they call it, the always time display mode. It's available in the settings, in display. There's a little switch you turn on, and when the watch is off, it's going to have this little ambient display on it. All of these watches you see here have that technology in them. They're all running Android 7.1.1 and the 6739 chip, but they're different. And this video is to help you decide maybe which one of these might be right for you. I laid them out this way, so the first thing we could look at is the camera placement. On every single one of them, the camera is on the side, and the buttons. We've got some shiny round ones here and here. We've got some flat ones, two of them on either side, and a totally different kind of body. We have one bright red one up here. Can you see that? Sun shining in on it. And we have one flat one over here. And then this one's got this wild thing going with two buttons. They got a little orange thing around them, and then this insert separator around the camera on the body of this one. And finally, this one is your basic rounded buttons with the camera on the side. Okay. Notice that it flashed back to this ambient screen in the actual watch face too. We're going to talk a little bit about that with a special announcement regarding that watch face in this video. And there's going to be the ultimate reveal for the for the Lemfo LEM8. You see which one that one is? The ultimate reveal, or is it? Stay tuned. That's at the very, very end. Let's dig into this. First thing to show you on the i8. This is the original old prototype that I got of this one, and this one is the production unit. And we have a hard time visualizing the brightness of this ambient display typically because my camera won't adjust to the level of brightness. The only way to do it is a side-by-side comparison. And they are both in ambient mode now because in the non-ambient mode I've got the power level on the display. And this one is super bright. And you know what? I'm gonna turn it all the way down, dimmest, okay? And this one, I'm going to leave it at half. They're about the same brightness there in the regular mode. But when you turn them off and go into the always time mode, look how much brighter this one is than that one. It's not adjustable. It doesn't change no matter what brightness level you choose. And, gang, it's different for every single one of these watches. Totally different. Some are a little brighter, some are a little dimmer, but this is the range. This is the brightest watch I've got and the dimmest watch. They happen to be the exact same i8. That one just lit up. Look, its lighted version is as bright as the dim version on that one. Amazing. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to think about is, well, what kind of brightness do you want in the dim display? The problem is, I can't guarantee it, I don't think the manufacturer can, that you're going to get the same brightness on your watch that, doggone it, quit turning on, that you're going to see on these watches. The technology seems to be such that they're just popping out of the chute at whatever brightness they're set at. Quit it! Yeah. Okay, see there's these and these, but then there's the brightness of this one. Look at that. Totally different. All right. So you're going to get a watch that has ambient display mode built in it, but you're not going to have control over how bright it is. You see the buttons, you see the cameras. You want to talk about the cameras. Okay, they're all 2-megapixel cameras except for one, this one right here. The reason I say that is, you see the numbers I wrote on my tags to keep straight of all of this stuff? If I take that number, 2448, and multiply it by 3264, I come up with 7.99 or 8 megapixel, right? 8 megapixel camera. Well, yes and no. The images, when you take the pictures, resolve to this size. So they act like they're 8 megapixel. But inside, and they're upfront about it, the Kospet Hope tells you that it's a 5 megapixel, true 5 megapixel camera up interpolated to 8 megapixels. All right. All these other ones, doesn't matter which one we pick, they say 1920 by 2560. Yeah, 1920 by 2560 gives us 4.9 or 5 megapixels. Yeah, inside every single one of these, guaranteed, is a 2 megapixel camera up interpolated to 5. So everybody's lying. This is fake news. They are not what they seem to be. You got to know the details behind it. Your 2 megapixel cameras up interpolated to 5 are going to have somewhat fuzzy images. Your one true 5 megapixel camera here that is up interpolated to 8 is going to give you a fairly sharp picture and good size image that if you want to print it out in a large size poster or something, you're going to have a better chance at it just simply because of the way the electronics has made it an 8 megapixel picture. Yeah. Now, let's talk about bands. All of these that you see are standard Android watches with fixed bands. We're going to go with both of these are the same. Remember, this is the prototype i8 from IQI, and this is the production i8. And the technology is the same. The bands are the same, and they are fixed. Also, just by side note, this is also an i8 in silver. And I believe all of these are available in silver. They're definitely available in black. They're all in black, but you should be able to get this in silver as well. It's nice looking. I'm not going to talk much about it because it's identical to these two here. So the bands are fixed on these. This is the THOR 4 Plus. By the way, the THOR 4 Pro uses different technology. There's been concern on whether you have the ambient display or not. I do not see it on mine. I tried for a firmware update and there's nothing available. So the always time display in the THOR 4 Plus is definitely here. The bands on this are non-removable as well. You can see that, but the build of the body is totally different. And then you get to the... Mrs. Tix, can I talk about this yet? No? All right. Can't talk about this yet. This is the LEM. This watch is an upgrade of an older watch that we've done a review on, but it's been changed to put in the 6739 chip and add the ambient screen capability. Other than that, it looks just like its predecessor. We'll be talking more about this when we do the review, but also we're on the band part. You notice it's non-removable, and you can see the cutouts for the antennas are right there. So all of these have stiff kind of bands, so when you put them on, they just lay right over your arm if you've got an average-sized arm, but they're not going to lay flat on the table. They're going to fall over. That's not true of the Lemfo LEM8. I can lay this one down just as easy as I can with the Kospet Hope that is totally removable bands, obviously. Well, look, this has got cutouts too, but it's pliable. Are the bands removable on this or not? Well, check the end of the video. We'll answer that, maybe, for you. Okay, so these two watches are the only ones that'll actually lay down. Mrs. Tick? No, not this one either. Sorry, I can't tell you anything about this till next year, but This particular watch is also non-removable stiff bands on it. Wow, it's curved. Okay. I'll leave it alone. So I don't know if you want a watch that's going to be able to lay down. You got those two to choose from. Everything else is going to be like this. What else? The camera we talked about. Oh yeah, the pinch and zoom kind of stuff on all of these. Let's pick one. You want to pick this one that you don't know anything about? Okay. I go into camera. I took a picture of my hand, and I can double tap again, and double tap again, and it'll return to size. Okay? But if you take two, thumb and thumb or whatever you want, and whoa, look at that. That's true pinch and zoom. And it's showing up on this particular watch. Oops, just went back into camera mode. That we'll talk about in an upcoming review in 2019. Take another one. Let's say this one. Just for comparison, I go into camera on this one, or gallery, but I just go into camera and then I just pick it from here. And there's my hand again. It's kind of in the way. By the way, it's that details button I hit to get the sizing that I've written on all of these things. Double tap again, double tap again. Pinch and zoom, doesn't work. Doesn't work. The rooster works. You hear him out there? But the pinch and zoom does not work on most of these watches. It does on this one. How about this one? Whoa, come back here. Camera. Picture. Ah, look at that. Look at that. The Lemfo LEM8, it works on. The Lemfo revised, well, I mean, this other watch that we'll review soon does not. Okay, there you've got a bit of a distinction between these two particular watches. And now we've got these two, and I'm pretty sure this one, that fall into the category of having active pinch and zoom. Camera, picture. Whoa, there we go. Hand, double tap, back again, and pinch and zoom. So 3 of these watches support that. If you ever think that that's something you're going to need, the rest of these do not. That's one of the distinctions as well. If we go in here to settings, and we go into more, and we go into RAM, you're going to see the amount of RAM that's currently being used and the available RAM in here. There's 2.1 gigabytes free and 7.74 used. You add those together, you get 3 gigabytes of RAM in the Kospet Hope. It's the only watch out there that has that. If you look at storage, it's going to show you that the internal storage, 25 point something gigabytes left of 32. It's the only watch like that. It's the only watch with the 5 megapixel camera that up interpolates to 8 megapixels. And unless we can prove it otherwise on the LEM8, it's the only one with the removable bands. By the way, you see the covers off on a lot of them because I'm moving SIMs back and forth, and we're trying to test the 4G connectivity on all of these, which I don't have a report on for you at this point, but it's coming up early next year. So the Kospet Hope, out of all of these, has the highest overall specs. In terms of the other watches, I've got this kind of memory available in here. Can you guys read it? It's a basically 100 and some odd, 700. You add them together, you got 1 gigabyte. So that's a 1 gigabyte watch. This one here, yeah, 205 plus 698. That's also 1 gigabyte of RAM. This one, same thing. This one, what have you got? Free 144, 758. Again, 1 gigabyte. The LEM8 now. Look at that. We got 1.1 gigabyte extra free. not 0.1 or the 100 gigabyte. You've got a full extra gigabyte plus, you add all that together, you've got 2. So the LEM8, you've got 2 gigabytes of RAM. And all of these, I'll just tell you, they've got 16 gigabytes of memory, of total storage. Here we go again, 104,799, so that's 1 gigabyte. All of these watches, 1 gigabyte. The LEM8 has 2. The Kospet Hope has 3. Does it make a difference? Not sure. I haven't been able to test any way to say that having 2 gigabytes over 1 is really, really important. And 3 over 2, I have no idea. But just for your information, 3 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes, and everybody else is 1 gigabyte of RAM. Okay, then the last thing I want to leave you with, where's this one, is a special announcement on watch faces. As you see, on every one of them, I've set the ambient watch face as the default face, but it wasn't always that way because this face wasn't available. We have a special video out where we talk about the design of this ambient face as a real face with all sorts of options. Here it is with power level. Here it is with the current date. You've got it in all kinds of ways. And here's the special announcement. Here's some in white. When you go all the way to the end, folks, try this on your watch no matter what watch you've got. You're going to get a whole bunch of Christmas faces that are on there right now. You could download. And right after the Christmas faces, look, Pierce Collins, the Collins family, custom designed watch faces. Here's the actual ambient face with nothing on it. I tap the button, it'll download it. My little critters are crawling through here. Go away, go away. And it just loaded it up. And there it is, the ambient face here, the same face lit up here, downloaded from the plus sign. And several of the others are available as well. So that's really cool. No matter which watch you have, of course, it works great on this one because it matches directly with the face that you get for the ambient mode face. But if you have any other Android watch that has that plus sign capability, you should now be able to download these faces, and that's really cool. All right, thanks you guys for watching. This is a really interesting amalgamation of technology coming up with different companies' designs. You know, it really kind of gets down to just what do you like, what looks good on your arm, which design in the bezel is attractive to you, because they're going to be so close together that you could just choose any one you like. This one's really distinctive, and we have a review on it coming up. This one we just reviewed has got all the bells and whistles and a subtle little bezel around it, similar to this one that has also the flat bands. Are they removable? You want to find out? Keep watching. Here you go. So here's an interesting question that's come in from SS Halo Mo Harrison. He says he's getting conflicting stories about the straps on the Lemfo LEM8. Banggood, in the questions and answers sections about the watch, says that the bands are removable. Chickstex reviews also says the straps are removable, but SmartWatch Ticks here says they are not removable, and I'm confused. Which one is it? Well, let's find out. First of all, go over the tools. I'm going to be wearing this on my head. It's my magnifier that has double layers and even more intense magnification if necessary. So if I drift off the screen, I'll apologize, but I'm not going to be watching the camera because we're actually going to take this thing apart. Let's start here. This is the THOR 4 Plus. It's basically the same watch as the Lemfo LEM8, right? But different packaging. Now, it's obvious on this one that the bands are not removable. We've seen this on standard Android watches where they're just like molded into the case. It's a nice design, but you definitely are not going to be able to remove the bands. This one, however, this is a strange beast. because the bands are really pliable. I'm going to take the sticker off so I can use a little bit more. By the way, you'll be seeing in some of the videos these stickers, and the numbers on here represent the size of the image because we're trying to also resolve 2 megapixel, 5 megapixel, 8 megapixel camera resolution, and it helps to have that on each of these watches for other videos. So this one, like I'm saying, is a strange beast. First of all, the bands are really pliable like standard bands, but look, there's a cutout here, obviously, where you would have an antenna inside the band on both sides. That's typical for these Android watches. Now here you don't see the cutout as much, but you got the darn thing molded completely into the watch body itself. So my assumption, and it was an assumption, that the bands are not removable was based on the fact of seeing this antenna pattern in the band and the way this is all hooked up like this. You see how the back comes right up on both sides, alluding to the fact that there could be a wire running in through here, down into here, and over into here. But it's really pliable. It's built in a way that it can move with the overall band itself. All right, I've got a flashlight in case we need it to see here. I've got this little tool, which is gosh, I don't know if I can get it to focus. You see the tip on this is a pry. You can kind of see it. It's a little out of focus. It's something that you can pry in here. It's meant to move those pins back on the type of bands that have that stick pin in them, which obviously this would have to hold it in place. And then this is a screwdriver to take the back of the case off. Okay, I'm going to get suited up. All right, I'm going to hold the flashlight in my mouth, and I'm going to take the tool, and I'm going to attempt to remove the band. That should answer the question, right? So I get down in here, press, and release. And I got my goggle thingy on. Look in there, can you see? Not getting any release. I mean, it should just go over the pin and pop it right out. No, it's not happening. So I'm not able to release the band directly as if it had pins in it. My guess is still it's not removable, but the only way to really tell is to take it apart, so let's set up for that. Before we begin that part, let's turn it off. I don't want it to be on when we take it apart. Wow, it's really washed out because I got the brightness up really high. Power off. Okay. And it's shutting down. Now, while I had you off camera, I went ahead and started loosening the screws on the back so we can take the back off. And I hate to do this. I don't have a stand for this flashlight, so I'm going to have to hold it between my teeth and loosen these the rest of the way. Okay. Yep. Yeah, they're long screws, too. By the way, it's always a good idea to try to set it up so the same screw goes back in the same hole. So that's right, that. And then these ones here. Oh, goodness. They're long. Okay, that one's done. I'm sorry about my owie there. I was using some pliers and they slipped and it pinched. Ouch. Yeah, I know. It's YouTube. We don't use makeup. Okay, uh-oh. That one seems to be... Uh-oh. It's not coming out. Oh, there it is. Okay. But look, it's cut. Huh. Yeah. Don't like that idea. All right, let's see if we can open this up. I may be violating my warranty, my integrity for any kind of water retention And I don't even see a way to get the case open. It looks like it's almost glued in here. Wow. Wow. All right, how about this little tool? I don't want to scratch it. What do you think? Is there a way to open it? Oh. Wow. It looks like, folks, it's glued on there. I don't believe that. Huh. I'll be right back. Okay, I've been fussing with this, and the best I can show you is, see this section here? Dang, it's not in focus, is it? I think the words on this are messing this up. Let's do this. Okay. You in focus? Okay. The best I can do is get in here and pry a little bit, and you see that corner lift right here? But it won't come out, guys. So it's glued in there solid. So here's the story. The bands look like they should be removable. They're very pliable. There should be pins in here that you can just pop right out, but I can't. And I got the antenna cutouts in here. I'm sticking by my story that they're not removable. If any of you, without destroying your watch, have been able to take your bands out, please leave a note in the comments down below. We all would like to know, but I'm not going to take it any further without possibly destroying this watch. So that's it for bands. Now, the next thing is this silly little SIM thing. These are all talking 4G connectivity. Now, I know that's regional, and it's carrier dependent, and it's service within that carrier dependent. So I can only talk to you about USA, AT&T, and hopefully T-Mobile 4G LTE connectivity. Your country, your connection will be totally different. And I've seen folks comment, and I encourage you guys to comment as well on whether you're getting 4G connectivity on your choice of watch, these or any of the others in your country. It helps everybody know. And if you're not getting it, let us know that as well. So, in 2019, we'll be taking a look at the 4G data connectivity as well as phone calling and whatnot with these watches. Time permitting. Remember, folks, this is a hobby for Mr. Tix. I've been putting my consulting business on the sidelines in hopes of getting more about these watches out to you guys. But that's going to be dependent on pulling in a little bit of revenue. So anytime you click on an ad or order a watch from one of our supporting sponsors, it's going to give me some energy to keep going through 2019. I fully expect a lot more watches coming, way beyond what we've seen here. And imagine what it was like January timeframe a year ago. This wasn't even conceived of. Okay. Thanks for watching Smartwatch Tix. SmartWatchTix.com on the web. Just mention it to your friends and get them started. Thumbs up on the videos, and especially subscriptions are really important. There's a lot of potential that happens when you hit 100,000 subscribers and more. So I'm encouraging you guys, and I'm hoping we can move into that category real soon. Okay, we'll see you on the other side. Thanks again. One last thing. Oh, thank you guys for giving us all these tips occasionally. Got a comment from somebody that said whether you have a watch that does not support the pinch and zoom or one that does. Doesn't matter. It works on all of these. You saw that I could double tap to zoom, double tap again and zoom, double tap and return. But if I double tap like this and hold it, I can zoom by sliding. That's right. This is the one that does not support pinch and zoom. This is one of the ones that does. But I can double tap, right? All of that is working. And double tap and hold, and I can zoom. I mean, I can zoom down to the cells in my skin. It's incredible. Actually, really fast. But you can get to whatever level you want, and then you can slide around from there. Just thought you guys should know this works on every watch you saw today.